Uh, um, so how many people here are familiar with MetaMask snaps? Very few people. Okay, so let me just give like a short rundown of what snaps are before we jump into this workshop. So MetaMask created this platform to allow for the extensibility of the wallet through something called snaps. So snaps are programs that are ran in a sandbox environment, and they communicate with the extension through JSON RPC. We've exposed certain APIs to snaps to allow for the creation of snap programs. So snaps are based around permissions. You guys are going to see in the workshop, we're going to use this one permission called snap confirm. And snaps are run in our canary version of MetaMask called MetaMask Flask. So Flask is available in the Chrome store, but I want you guys to just use the latest build that we have. So I'm just going to ask you to pull down the extension itself, and I'm going to ask you to create a Flask build, and then we're going to add that into Chrome itself. So in order to have Flask enabled, we have to make sure that your regular extension is disabled. So if you guys want to go ahead and just go to the MetaMask extension GitHub and just pull down the repo, I'll give you guys the commands needed to get started.
I like this hands-on workshop.
Would you recommend if I've already installed Flask to like remove it from Chrome and rebuild from this part? Cool.
So we clone the repo.
Mm-hmm.
And install Flask from the Google Chrome extension.
Yeah. Okay, so when you guys clone down the extension, you should be on the develop branch. Oh, it's not downloading?
Yeah, Wi-Fi is yeah.
Again.
Does everyone have Flask on their computer already? How many? By a show of hands, how many people?
I'm doing it again.
Okay, yeah. So half the room still needs to install it. Is there anything we can do about the Wi-Fi?
Maybe we can create a quick hotspot. I don't know for everybody, but I don't know if it's fast enough. Maybe.
Am I able to airdrop the folder? If somebody has it.
I don't know. I suppose.
Let me see if that's possible.
I've never airdropped files before.
It's really big.
The Wi-Fi speed though doesn't look so bad. It's like 10 Mbps. Isn't it working?
It is very slow.
Also, if it's like the one they provide doesn't work, this one, like by the menu itself, the city,
Oh.
it actually is pretty fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good trick. And in Flask, is there a feature where I can get some test token directly, or should I do like a faucet?
You don't need any test tokens for this workshop.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask a question while we're
Yeah.
running?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So I was reading of the documentation, and I saw that there was a mention of like you cannot really adjust the UI yet.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Are you going to be is the end goal to be allow you to adjust this screen that opens up when you're interacting, or?
No, the idea will be that we'll allow for certain things, for certain UI to exist inside of the extension itself. So not like the pop-up itself, but there probably will be some sort of section inside of the inside of the extension itself for a particular snap. So we're like in our current sprint, we're starting the work on the UI work. So it should be out soon.
I can't read the black. I don't know.
Let me try and make it. Yeah, sorry. This is my like terminal settings.
We try to do bigger, maybe. Again, I don't know.
Yeah. Better?
Still pretty unreadable.
How to change the black and green, maybe. I don't know. I think it's in the setting.
Let me see.
There is no setting there. Oh, there you are. Yeah, preference. Yeah. There.
Let's do this.
Whatever is good. Yeah. Where do you save?
Yeah, where does this apply it?
Default. I don't know. Try to close it. Maybe it's auto save as itself, and you need to refresh. Okay. Or reopen a new one. Yeah.
No, it's the same.
The same?
Yeah. Oh,
you
good.
are.
There we go.
Nice.
There you go. Sweet.
Nice, perfect now. Yeah.
Should we just disable the existing MetaMask?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can either disable it or remove it.
And then fork the repo.
Yeah, just clone it down.
Okay,
How many people have cloned down already?
I'll
Okay. All right. Let me just start telling you guys the commands to put in to set up the extension. So you first want to do yarn setup. Actually, do nvm use to get on the right version of Node. And then you can do yarn setup. Yeah. And I'm showing you guys how to do it like directly from the extension itself, because this way you guys can get a hold of like new features right away. You don't have to wait for our releases. And then after you do that, you should do yarn start dash dash build type Flask. And that will build Flask for you. So you'll usually be able to tell the build process is finished when you see like bundle end for primary. Cool. So now we can go back to extensions, and then you can just load unpacked and go to the extension and go to dist and just add in the Chrome folder. I already have it added, so I'm good to go.
This has to be in developer mode to add that.
Yes, yes.
So is yarn start dash dash build space yarn?
This right here.
Okay, let me take a picture. I'm still installing.
That's horrid. I feel like that's the first thing that we should make sure is on point is the Wi-Fi.
Is this Wi-Fi working better?
No, I'm still on the original one, but it's now downloaded. I'm just installing it.
Yeah, I'm 33% still.
Once you guys add the extension in, just go through the the setup process.
And what snap are we building now? Like,
So
give
this
a
is
context.
yeah. So this is basically like a magic ball app sort of thing where you can type in some sort of question, and then once you hit query, it'll open up like a confirmation screen from which you can see some sort of answer. But the whole idea of doing this is to walk you through the process of creating a snap and sort of showing you some of the permissions that we have available that you can use.
Yarn start dash dash build Flask.
Dash dash build type.
Build thing.
So it's dash dash build type. Where is it? There we go.
Okay, yeah.
You guys can exit out of the process once the bundle finishes building, because we're not going to be changing the extension. So we just needed this build, and that's it.
What folder is the extension? So after you build, what do you do?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got you. So you want to go to Load Unpacked. And so when you're in the extension folder, navigate to dist, and then just navigate into the Chrome folder and just hit select.
Oh, cool. And that's load unpack. Okay, cool.
Cool. So, do most people have the extension?
Still installing
Okay.
all the dependencies.
What's it? Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes, and then I'll start.
I'm going follow.
Okay.
The recording afterwards.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, all right. So we'll start off by making the folder for the snap. mkdir. We'll call it mystery snap. You cd into the folder. Now what we want to do is do yarn init. So for this workshop, I don't know if you guys have seen the docs. We have a template snap repo, or we're gonna use our CLI tool to create the snap, and that's what I typically encourage people to use. So we're gonna do yarn add at MetaMask/snaps-CLI.
And where is this mystery snap folder living in? Is it in the project, or is this a separate?
You could just have the folder live wherever you want it to be. Cool. So now that we have the CLI installed, we can scaffold a project by doing yarn snap and init. By a show of hands, how many people know TypeScript here? Okay, cool. So we're just going to do a JavaScript project. So in order to do that, you want to add in the flag -- template, and then write in JavaScript. And we want to just hit yes. Cool. So now we have this project scaffolded. And so what you're going to see in this scaffolded project, you'll have your snap manifest.json, and all these files are required in a snap. So that's why I encourage people to use the CLI tool, because it's easy and it'll give you all that you need to get started. We're just gonna clear out some things here. Cool. So The entry point for a snap is this index.js file. And it has this on RPC request export, which takes in a request, and it'll switch through the request's method properties to check for the particular method that you want that the dApp is calling for. And so like in this templated snap, you'll see like this hello method. Now, what we want to do is we want to create this little snap that has envisioned like an input box. Basically, you type something in, you hit query, and then this pop-up notification will come back up with some sort of answer in it. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to change this hello method to mystery. And so what we want this method to do is to be able to return an answer from this list of answers that we have. So what we can do here is just maybe create like an array and maybe call it mystery answers. And I don't know, like we could just add in random answers for whatever sort of questions that might come up. Yes. No. Maybe. It'll never happen. I don't know. Does anyone have suggestions? Cool. Yeah, we'll just go for this. We'll go with this list for now. So now what you want to do is we want to figure out like randomly generate an index number to pull an answer out of this array. And so basically we can just say const index equals math.floor math.random, and then we can do mystery answers.length. And then so we want to do return wallet request, method snap confirm. Prompt will be, we'll just write this, the mysterious fox. Has spoken. So this snap confirm permission, it takes in three parameters. You have this prompt, you have this description, and this text area content. So the prompt, I believe, is like the title of the pop-up. Then there will be like some subtext with this description, and then you'll have like a text area box, and the text area content will be obviously what's in the box. So the description, we can say you asked. So we can interpolate the question that's being asked, and that's something that we're going to be getting from the request object from the dApp. So this is going to be request.question. And the text area content itself will be just the mysterious fox says. And we need to interpolate this as well. Cool. And so this is pretty much going to be what our index.js looks like. So we'll save this. And then something else that I want to point out to you guys is this initial permissions field. When you install a snap, you're going to see permissions being requested from the user. And so those permissions are going to be what's in this object. So for this particular snap, we're using the snap confirm, and that snap confirm is that text box, that pop-up that opens with the text area content. So we have this in here already. One other thing that I'd like to note is that your package.json and your snap manifest.json versions should always be the same. So now we'll move into creating the interface itself for the snap, which will be the DApp. So what we can start doing here is we'll just serve this snap just so I can start showing you guys the interface, and then we'll just start fixing it from there. So is everyone good up until this point? Does anyone have any sort of questions? So once you guys are done with that point, we want to do yarn snap build, and then yarn snap serve. So what build will just go through the build process and build the snap itself, and then serve will start up a basic server and serve up the DApp HTML file and the snap itself. So the server is on localhost. When the DApp requests for the snap to be installed, it's requesting the snap to be installed from a snap ID. So snap IDs are namespaced by the npm package name, but if you're doing local development, it's localhost, and it'll be depending on whatever port that you want it to be on. So when you can change the port, I believe in this file here in snap.config.js, you would just add in a port property with whatever port you want, but it defaults to 8080.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you configure to use a local snap versus snap on npm?
Sure. So when you're writing your DApp, you would just refer to the published snap's npm ID. So it would be npm : whatever the name of the snap is, the package name of the snap.
Okay.
So, all right, so we'll do this build and we'll start serving it. Cool, so, all right, it's 8081. All right, so this is like the basic DApp screen that we get, but we want to change this around to however we want it. So if you open up the folder and navigate to index.html, you'll see all the code for whatever you see on this page. So what we want to do is we'll keep this connect button This connect button is what lets you install the snap. But we want to swap out the send hello button. Cool. So we'll add some sort of label and we'll add some sort of input box for this. So we can start by doing, let's see. Okay, cool. And then we want to just give this an ID of question. And we'll give this label. So, I'm trying the question I want to ask Fox. And then we could add another button to query that. So you'll see that the scaffold already gives you a lot of what you need. And under local development, the snap ID is always going to be local, and then window.location.href, which will be wherever it is that you're whatever port that you're hosting it on. So we have this connect button that we're grabbing. We have this send button that we no longer have. We're going to have this question button, or query button rather. Cool. All right. So now we want to add an event listener for this query button. And we're listening for a click event, and we want to send this to, let's see, so we can change this method around to be called getAnswer. The connect function we can leave as it is. It'll work just fine. Now this getAnswer function is what we're trying to change around a little bit. So when you are prompting a snap for some sort of response, you're going through this invoke snap method. And so the params that you pass into it will be the snap ID itself. The reason for this is the extension needs to know, which snap it needs to access to, call its methods. And then we're passing in this request object. So here we change the method to be mystery. Which I believe is what we had, yes. Okay, and we change it to be mystery, and then we also have some other params that we are passing in. So let's see, we had a request.question, right? So question property. And so let's grab the question here. Okay. So we want to do document dot query selector, and we want to grab that input. And dot value. So we can literally just do this. Okay, cool. So hopefully this is like pretty much everything here. Now we're gonna just do the same command again to rebuild. Okay, let's make this a little better. Cool. All right. So we'll first want to connect. Oh, what's happening? Oh, we already had it installed. Okay, that's weird. All right, so you should see this pop up is a permission request to install this particular snap.
Folks, is it maybe it's not
What does that say?
MetaMask had trouble starting. So
Can I see?
it was stuck on this line when I build it, and I stopped it.
Okay.
At this
Did you add in the build to extension?
Yeah. I just load this build. I think that's the one.
Oh, what's this manifest version? Try reloading it.
I did it and I reload. I did it.
Just hit like refresh.
Okay.
You might want to try building it again, and add it. Yeah, sometimes that can happen. Is everyone else at this point? Or has been able to get to this point? Or if anyone needs help or questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so cool. When you hit connect, you install the snap. So remember the snap confirm permission that I was telling you guys about, it shows up here. You can see the version of the snap here and then the snap ID itself. So we're just going to approve and install. Now that you have that installed, you can see it actually inside of your extension. You'll see mystery snap, and then you'll see the details here. You'll see the permissions, you'll see the connected sites, and then you'll be able to remove the snap if you so wish. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see. We can say, I don't know, am I going to be a millionaire? Oh, Mystery Fox says undefined. Okay. All right. Let's see what the issue is.
Is there two order?
Huh?
No,
Or it's manual?
it's not loading at all. It's still
Undefined. Oh. Okay. That should hopefully fix it. We added an option for Snap Serve to just like rebuild as it watches and continue to serve, but something's kind of messed up, so we're just doing build and serve in one command. So we'll try that one more time. I'm just gonna remove the snap itself as well. And then connect again. There we go. It'll never happen. Cool, so I guess I have that to look forward to. But yeah, so this is basically the snap. So like some of the use cases for snap confirm can be in like having some sort of friction in sort of in your user flow in your dApp. So like for example, more complex snaps, people have been using snap confirm for like protocol snaps to like confirm like sending a transaction or something like that. So the idea of this workshop was to sort of get you into the flow of building a snap. And then you guys can look at the documentation for a complete list of the permissions that we have available. You can just go to MetaMask.io/Flask and go to our docs. And I forget exactly where it is, but you should be able to find the permissions here. So when you give certain permissions, it allows for the execution environment that's executing the snap itself to have access to certain globals. So if you were to be making, like, if you wanted to make some sort of fetch request inside of your snap, you would give it a network endowment. And that's just like one example, and you have all these other endowments that you could use as well. And then you have these resources and tools that show you how to use some of these other permissions. And then you could also take a look at this table of contents for a JSON RPC API to get a deeper understanding of how things are working. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes?
So I was starting to use this yesterday, and I wanted to sign a message.
Mm-hmm.
The information I found online was, you have to extract the private key,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to import the private key to the Snap to be able to ask the user to sign.
Yeah, because if you want to do it from the Snap, you would have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it is, but then we were like, okay, we were thinking about this, and like, how can you do this? And then also, do we need to do it from the Snap?
no, you don't need to. You can just do it from the extension.
Yeah, you can sign message from
Yeah.
extension.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's more related to stuff non-related to the cryptography part of MetaMask.
Yeah.
Message, interaction.
Yeah. So you can, there's a, let me show you. This right here, snap get BIP44 entropy. The wildcard pertains to the number of, on the slip 44 list, like there's a coin type. So you would put in the coin type for whatever chain you want to derive. So for example, people who made the Bitcoin snap, they use this to get the keys for that. So there is more things you can do. You can manage state, save state. You can confirm. You can notify. This snap notify permission will let you send notifications in extension and browser notifications. So like something that I started to build was like a NFT, like OpenSea watcher snap. So basically, the snap gets a permission to notify you when there's certain events going on around that particular NFT. So say if you want to, act on a certain event, buy an NFT based on certain things, you'll get notifications for that. You can go even one step further and get the private keys and be able to write like a, some sort of like bot that can trade based on whatever parameters you want to give it. And you can have the Snap do all of that.
So with the Notify, I can just have an open WebSocket and listen to
Yeah,
incoming messages?
yeah, you can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, any other questions?
Just one thing I want to share with you. I created like a bootstrap with MetaMask using TypeScript and Next.js.
Oh, cool.
If you would like to get a link to that, because
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Next.js, and I can use the vanilla JS, but it's always a little bit rigid.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I understand. You can share your Telegram with me.
Cool.
All right, if there's no other questions, I'll call it a wrap.
So you're saying, I just want to make sure I remember, the Snap Notify was used in the Bitcoin Snap?
No, the Snap get BIP44 entropy was.
Okay, is
Yeah.
there an example that's using the Notify?
We have an examples repo where we do have a notify snap. I don't have it offhand, but give me your information, I'll shoot it to you.
Okay, cool.
There's actually a question on the MetaMask channel.
On Discord, right?
Yeah. Can you run a whole small app in a Snap, or does it need a related web page to run along and to get input from?
Where is this?
Like
The MetaMask channel.
Uh,
ECC.
oh yeah, there.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, basically asking if we have access to UI and extension, and like we don't right now. So you do need to have an interface, which is the DApp, to speak to a snap currently. Oh, is that the get? Okay, cool. Sweet. All right. Yeah. Thank you everyone for your time. I appreciate it.
Are you guys targeting the snap bounty or?